Hey, everybody. We are back. My name is not Carlos Martos. This is not BitConnect. This is Spicy Trading. Welcome to the new year. I'm really sorry for the delay we had between November, December, and now a bit of January as well. There was a lot of personal stuff in real life I had to attend, and I had to put some time in. I didn't even trade at this time, but let's have a blast today in catching up the markets. I prepared some nice stuff, and let's see where this takes us. First things first, as always, we're going to look at the dominance. You see a big Vitalik face here. That means something is coming. So let's take a look at it. After our last video, where we checked if we were still on track for the Bitcoin dominance, we can now say, which was here, we can now say that we actually broke this uptrend line for the first time since November 2022, which is quite a long time. That's very nice. Could be a major event. We also retested this level here, this critical level that we marked out. We broke down, but then we actually claimed it again and now retested it, and it looks like the dominance is still on track. This is the first sign for me that we might actually be closer to an alt season than ever before. It was the same when we lost this red trend line here on this point, and then we back tested it from the bottom again, broke a little bit above, but then we stayed consistently below it. And I think the same thing will happen here on this green trend line. And usually there are three trend lines that are going to be broken. Most things in the markets happen in number of threes. And once that happens, we can truly look for some altcoins. I do expect the top of Bitcoin dominance still to be around this level here, maybe between this zone, just like we've said since the beginning of this channel. It just makes a lot of sense to revisit this and then finally turn around. We mentioned that some tokens still might pump during this time, and I think there is one very major token that has been pumping, and it is XRP, which we're going to take a look at the end of this video. So what also happened during this time, I think you all have experienced it yourself. You've watched it maybe you've followed it, maybe not. Trump, inaugurated. He had his inauguration speech. He had his first day in office a couple of days back. And yeah, it's just quite interesting times, to say the least. The Trump coin happened. And then also this Melania coin happened. Interesting stuff. Nothing really important for Bitcoin dominance or like the total one or total three, which is the market cap of the whole crypto market, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. But also here, and it's not really like a lot has happened here. We can still see that here, which is total one, that this is the highest by far because Bitcoin still is the dominant figure. So let's get back to our script and let's check our interesting or most interesting chart, which is Bitcoin, of course. So let's have a look here. Let me just move this over. Perfect. So the last time we spoke about Bitcoin, we spoke about this weekly buy zone that has emerged here. We had a daily buy zone here, which we checked that should have been retested or could have been retested to create more bullish momentum. It didn't get retested yet. We made new higher highs. We printed one low on the daily chart, but not on the weekly chart. So the direction of Bitcoin at this point, I would say, is still upwards. There are no sell setups above. As I mentioned before, when the price is in discovery mode and is in ranges that we haven't visited earlier, there's no past price data for me to trade on. So yeah, we just wait for the price to print a valid setup. We can now go through this chart here and maybe look if we have missed something, if something has happened here. So we can see, let's switch to this chart here. So this looks on the line chart like it could have been a weekly sell setup. Huh? From this is a high, a low, a high, and then a low. So, and this, it looks like it could have worked because there was a high and then it fell down back again. But if we go to the candle chart, then we can see that this low here, so this and this candle in between is where this line was here. Huh? You can see it. And this low actually had a wick that was even lower than this low here. So this was not a valid setup on the weekly chart. It has no lower low in lower time frames. Just like this setup here had no lower low in lower time frames. That's why this wasn't a valid setup. Yeah, but this on the daily chart is arguably a workable setup because it's in a bullish momentum. So weekly, nothing to see here so far. Let's go down to the daily and see if we have something of importance here. Let's go again to the line chart to make it easier on our eyes. And the first thing I would spot here is this low. Then there is a high, a lower low, and then we broke this high. It looks like on this point. Let's check it if it really was this or if it was this here. Depends all on the candles. So we can see there was the low, that was the point. This was the high point. Arguably, we spoke about this in the last video. This actually broke the high. And I think this here was election day. Yeah, 5th of December. A lot of volatility in the markets. Yeah, no real trading setup here for us to follow. So we just wait. Then there was a high again, a low, a higher high, and then here we had our lower low, which was also broken by this wick here. Very ugly, not a really nice setup to trade. Here the same happened again. Just not really nice setups here on the daily Bitcoin chart. I think there's nothing that we can really mark out here. Maybe here. Oh, this all looks really shitty. Well, there was a setup here. This was arguably a buy setup, which got smacked here. So if we go now for higher time frames, then yeah, we can see the white candle body didn't break through our entry zone, which means that there was no engulfing. So this would not have been a setup that you should have traded. So yeah, let's just take it off here. We don't need that. For now, nothing really I would like to trade on Bitcoin. We're still in a bullish upwards momentum. It doesn't look like it should stop anytime soon. We may see some sharp corrections, but generally the trend is still upwards. So let's switch now from Bitcoin to something that looks a bit more interesting, which is Ethereum. Let's just go over here, take this chart. So last time we spoke about, let's get back here because the video was in November. Here, it was this area here when we last spoke. And yeah, we said in the last video that this 3,580 zone is quite important, which we can see it got yeah, tested a couple of times from the bottom and from the top. This area in general, not specifically this number, but this area in general. And yeah, we can also see that the weekly sell setup that we had marked out here, it got broken on the daily for a tiny amount. I think that's less than 1%, so our stop loss would have been fine. Yeah, it was a weak setup. We wrote it down here in the last video. You can check that. So we did not trade that, but we did get quite a nice reaction. So yeah, the high point there was let's say 4,100 and the low point was 2,900. That's quite a huge price movement, which is nice to see that the weekly setup reacted how it did. That gives me more confidence to trade the next weekly setup on Ethereum, even though it might have a weak look to it. So what else did we checked? We also said that we might claim this upper zone first before hitting this buy setup here. We did. Um, this buy setup also got really fucked. It didn't got hit here, which would have been a very nice trade, and it got smacked here on the 13th of January. Yeah, that's just stuff that happens. The win rate can't be perfect. So let's check here if we have anything on the weekly chart we're missing. But so far, there is nothing really. No, there's actually nothing on the weekly chart besides this zone down here, which we are looking now for quite some time. And I think this might actually be coming. This would perfectly align with the Bitcoin dominance claiming this upper zone here, because would mean a decline in Ethereum prices whilst Bitcoin is being stagnant. Then we're going to hit this zone, and then Ethereum will pump, Bitcoin will also pump, but not as much, or maybe even decline a little bit. And then this will truly come down like a waterfall, just like we saw in earlier times when the true alt season happened. Let's try to catch that. Let's try to keep our eyes peeled for this zone here. Very interesting. Um, yeah, keep your eyes open for around 2600, 2550, 2440. Those are very good points to buy Ethereum. Um, yeah, I will do that definitely myself in the spot wallet. So let's go to first let's check Solana, because Solana actually printed, as you can see, a new all-time high. It was also one of the tokens that performed very well. There was quite an important level here that has been marked out on previous charts we looked at, and it got hit and reflected off. But since this was not a valid setup on any of the ones I'm looking for, maybe you could have argued about this one here, but yeah, we did not trade that. It would have been a banger trade, but yeah, as I said, I wasn't active myself the last couple of months because there was a lot of personal stuff happening. So the next buy setup we see here is actually this one here, and also this one. Let's not forget it. Both are overlapping. That means that the best place to buy could be actually in the middle here. That's like 216, 215. That would be like the optimal price. And then I think Solana might even go for another high because, yeah, as with Bitcoin, there is no sell setup evident. So there's no reason for Solana to turn down again if it's not printing a sell setup, just like it did here. Yeah, there was a high, there was a low, a higher high, a lower low, and then yeah, you see for yourself, we fell all the way from 242 back down to 170. Yeah, but since this setup is not forming here, we're not going to trade that. Oh, also there's another confluence I just saw. See, this is also a high, a low, a higher high, quite a deep lower low. Quite interesting because it got broken here. That means that this was originally a Quasimodo reversal that got broken through and now is a Quasimodo manipulation buy. So this zone inside here and this zone inside here are very interesting zones to buy Solana. Let's keep that marked. Yeah, those lower time frame setups here, they didn't work out as it is quite often when prices react to a higher time frame setup. These 4-hour setups are just too risky to take, and yeah, that's exactly what happened here again. This one actually generated some profit. If you want to check it out, we can see the price dipped in here, and then it dropped quite a substantial amount. Let's see if it really did or if it pumped first. No, it pumped first. Yeah. both of those setups didn't work out. Yeah, those are 4-hour setups for you running against higher time frame setups coming from the daily or from the weekly. Never trade against the higher time frame setups. Higher time frame always wins, always. So those are my Solana values. Let's now go into XRP. Last time we spoke, I said that my XRP win rate has been dropping hard lately. And yeah, we did not retest this zone here, which we hoped for. And we did not retest this upper zone here, which we hoped for. But what happened, which was a very nice trade, is that if this top here got broken and got retested, it could have been a very, very nice entry. And it actually was. It got retested 2 times perfectly. And then XRP did another 50% jump. I expect this to maybe be the new floor for XRP. And if the direction of the crypto market is still continuing upwards, which there are no signs again of it stopping, then this might be the new floor for XRP for this cycle. And yeah, we will see big gains on XRP. This would align with the idea of XRP getting adopted by the USA, at least under Trump's administration. There are a lot of rumors and I think also some facts about it right now. I will have to check the fundamental data there, which I'm not really interested in, but this could be an explanation if you guys want to understand why the price did this. For me, it's just simply it broke the Quasimodo reversal and then it returned to the Quasimodo reversal, excuse me please, and became a support and resistance continuation. Just simple stuff from the trading strategy. Now, let's go from here into our first non-crypto and our only non-crypto ticker, which is going to be the S&P 500 or the SPX, depending on where you're trading it. The ticker might change. So the last time we spoke, XRP was in the 6,000 area. I think it might have been around this area here. Yeah, I think we spoke right around this date. And yeah, funnily enough, we are now in the exactly same zone again. So yeah, nothing has happened. As I said last time, once a weekly reversal pattern will form or is forming, I will notify you and we might actually want to trade it. But yeah, so far, nothing really happened. I mean, we could argue that there was this reversal forming here. Let's mark it out. Mark it as a sell setup. So we could say this is a high, this is a low, it's a higher high, it's a lower low. And now let's check for higher time frames and see if we have bearish engulfing. So if this black candle engulfs the previous white candle, which it does not. So yeah, this was not a valid setup. It was rather a valid continuation setup, if you want to call it that. So you could have longed after we broke this zone upwards, but I expect it to get retested and then we can continue for some time more to the up. Yeah, this would also align with some fundamentals now with Trump's inauguration and what he's planning to do in the US. Yeah, let's see how this all plays out. For me, I'm sticking to the charts. Fundamentals are something that can go either direction because you can explain anything in any way if you want to. Meanwhile, chart patterns are truly consistent. So yeah, let's stick to that. All right. We are now hitting the 20-minute mark, and I think we did actually include everything I wanted to include so far. Yeah, I hope you guys did not get fucked over by Trump coin or by Melania coin or anything else that was quite ruggy in these times. Yeah, let's not even start this topic because it could end in a big rant, and we don't want that. Rather, I'm going to wish all of you a happy new year once again, even though I'm a bit late with that. Um, I wish you all the best for your trading. Never trade what you cannot afford to lose. Not afford to lose. Don't overinvest, and I'll catch you in the next market update next week. Bye bye.